It's happening. Maddie and I just got back from our last school visit. She has loved being in the elementary schools the last 2 weeks, getting to meet kids and giving the opportunity to introduce the channel that's going to be the companion to this more adult channel for kids educationally about hiking and the Appalachian Trail. And I can't believe it. 1.5 years of thought and energy and effort is all about to come to fruition. It's exciting, it's overwhelming, it's surreal. It's a whole lot of emotions all in one, and I have a feeling I'm gonna be a mess tomorrow. But that's okay, it's part of the journey. If you've been following me on Instagram, the last week I have been each day having a memory about how hiking and nature have affected either me or my family or a loved one. And it's really unveiling the real root of why I am hitting the trail. So if you want a closer look at that, if you want to get a little deeper, go ahead and look at the Instagram feed. It's up on my profile up on the top. There's a little button. It's Sarah Hikes NH is the Instagram. But I want to go through a few things with you today. One is that I really want to go over my pack again because I have made changes. I've added things. I've added probably a ½ pound, and I didn't think I was going to do it, but I just, there's something about it that's making me, instead of lose stuff right now, gain it. So I'm still at a pretty solid base weight. I'm not concerned about the weight. But I just feel like I've been putting probably too much thought into it. I've overthought it. I recognize that, but I'm going to share with you what I have. I also want to go over what to expect from this channel once I hit the trail. And I would like to also talk about what's going to happen this next week as I hit the road with my friend Eleanor for our road trip south to her homeland. And thanks for coming along with me. Let's get started. All right, so to start with, I am not changing out any of my big three. That is all staying the same. I still have my ULA Ohm 2.0. My hammock system is exactly the same. My quilts are exactly the same. So all of the big items are the same. I do have a lighter pack link below, and you can take a look at that to see the specifics. I also have a video on my hammock setup that you can look at for better detail on all of that. So that's my hammocking and my sleep system. All right, my pack looks really full because it is. This has 4 days worth of food and water in it. And literally this is what I will be walking onto the trail at Springer Mountain with. So let's go ahead and unpack it. Again, I'm not gonna go into details on every single brand or the grams because it's all in the lighter pack. But my rain gloves, my rain fly for my hammock system, my pack cover, and my rain kilt. They're all in the outside pouch here. I also have attached to the outside of the pouch my sit pad, which I am not changing out, but I am going to change the name of it because the kids have taught me in the elementary schools that when they're in Girl Scouts, they make sit-upons. And I really like that term, and it's really sweet. And I feel like I'm bringing some of the kids with me when I'm going to call this my sit-upon. So I'm changing the name of it from a sit pad to a sit-upon. I have added a pouch from Z-Packs that I had. So I didn't buy it. All of this stuff is stuff that I've had in my house. I haven't bought anything new. I think it would actually be a hysterical video at some point to show you all the gear that I have that I'm not bringing. It has been tweaked and over tweaked so many times, but it's okay. So my food system is exactly the same. I have the koozie that I made and my titanium pot with my Jetboil lid. I have my Soul Spark and my little cook stove, and I have a canister of fuel. Okay, In addition to that, I have my bandana, which I'm actually washing right now before we leave. And I have my spoon. I have that just put on a carabiner here so it doesn't fall out. All right, so I have my cook system separated. That's a little bit on its own. My other piece of water gear, I'm still bringing my umbrella. This other outside pocket over here, I have my toilet paper, and I have my baby wipes, my dog poop bags that I'll be using for packing out toilet paper. I have my deuce of spades and my female urination device. That is there. I do have a towel hanging off my pack. And on the other side, my other pouch is my water. I had a Nalgene bottle and I have switched that out. I will just be using 2 1-liter Smart Water bottles at this point. And still my water is the same. I'm using the Micro, the Sawyer Micro, and the CNOC Vecto bag. In my right hip pocket, I'm going to be having my cold weather gear. I have my mittens and my buff, and I will have my Chaka's hat. I'm wearing this one right now, but one of you has suggested that I add conductive thread to the gloves to make them compatible with my cell phone, touch compatible. So I'm going to work on that project while we're driving south. I did just a thumb just to see how it worked, and it did. So I will, on my pointer and thumb fingers, on my gloves, my possum down gloves, I will be adding conductive thread so that they will be e-compatible. And that way I will not be bringing the luxury item of the stylus. I have done a modification to a pair of headphones. I have a pair of Jaybird headphones that I used to use when I was running, and I really like the idea of not having a cord that attaches down and gets caught on things. What I have done is I have added something that is for the wind so that you won't get the garbly sound when I'm recording, hopefully. This is, I guess it's considered, I didn't know the term before, it's not my fault, it's called a dead cat. And it's a very common term. I went to the fabric store and just got the smallest piece of fluffy fake fur I could, and it just covers over the area on my phone where the power and the microphone are. Not on my phone, on my headphones. So that is an addition, a little modification that I've made. And I have my other electronics in here, my Nicor, and with the headband modification, which I have a video on. I have been going, I think electronics have been like the bane of my existence. I have been going round and round and round on what I am going to do about electronics. What I have decided is I am bringing my Anchor IQ dual USB port charger, and I am bringing an Anchor 13,000 milliamp with a dual USB port, and again this has Smart IQ. And then I have one cord for my iPhone and one cord for all of the other gear that I have that needs to be charged. My Garmin InReach Mini, my headlamp, and my headphones. And then I am just bringing this one little cord because it is only 3 grams to have with me in case something happens to my headphones and I need to pick up a pair at, you know, a local Walmart or something. I have not had good luck finding iPhone compatible headphones at typical stores, so I'm assuming that that will be consistent on the trail. Up on here, I have still my Garmin InReach Mini. I have changed out my little tiny knife for a little bit bigger knife that doesn't weigh any more than the other. I had a Swiss Army knife, a little tiny Swiss Army knife in here. And the more I used it, the more I realized what poor quality it is. Like the tweezers don't really work on anything. And the little scissors are so small that I'm not really sure what I would cut. So I'm just gonna use a single blade knife. And I've added a couple other little things again to help compensate for that. I am also going to be bringing sunglasses, which I didn't have before. One thing in all of my final medical prep for the trail is I had my annual eye exam and we realized that I have a cataract. So I spent some time with the ophthalmologist. It's nothing that's progressing quickly enough that needs to be done and taken care of or is worth delaying my trip for. So when I get back, I will take care of the cataract. But as a result, my eyes are sensitive, and now it kind of makes sense why it's blurry. So no big deal. So that's that hip or shoulder pocket. Oops. And then my other hip pocket is all of my toiletries that I want access to on a regular basis. One of the things is, instead of Purell, my cousin who's joining me in Georgia did research on the different hand sanitizer, and there's this sanitizer called My Shield, which actually is effective on norovirus, which is pretty exciting. So she and I are both bringing this instead of the Purell for washing up. I do have some hand warmers, and I sat down with my physical therapist on my discharge visit, and we talked about what items I should be bringing for self-care. So I am still bringing my little tool for doing Graston technique for rubbing out injuries and sores, and then I have my balm for the lubrication on that. I'm bringing these tiny little toe spacers that are 3 grams that you can get anywhere really. And they're going to be for stretching out my toes and just trying to loosen up my muscles in my feet at the end of the day. I also am bringing a pressure point ball. It's a little bit heavier than I wanted. It's like 40 grams, I think. Again, it's in lighter pack, you can look. But it's really sturdy and steady and has some good grippiness. So I can roll out pressure points in my piriformis or my feet or whatever I am needing. In addition, I have my hiking poles, which I can use as a recovery stick. Hand warmers, I think I already talked about. And then my little hygiene kit that I have in my front pocket because I'm assuming I'm going to be brushing my teeth while I'm walking in the morning. That's what I did on the long trail. So this pretty much looks exactly the same. A little tiny toothbrush, a little tiny dental floss. Again, all of it is on my lighter pack, but I did want to share that I am bringing a pair of nail clippers as a result of that hangnail or ingrown toenail that I had problems with. I really realized that I don't want to mess around. And then vanity got the better part of me. And I am bringing these tweezers that are 3 grams because when ladies get older, you start getting these little hairs that come out of your chin. And I realize that I am vain enough that that matters to me, that I want to clean those up. So if you see me on the trail and I have a little chin hair, let me know so that I can tweeze it, please. All right, let's get into the main part of the bag. All right, the main part of my bag. Well, I can tell you, if there's one thing that I will be leaving behind, it's probably my camp shoes. I have gone ahead and I have cut out a section to make them kind of like Mary Jane's. It lightened the weight a little bit, but really the goal was that I was realizing when I was wearing them around the house that my bunion was kind of rubbing up on the inside. So I've cut away this section so that my bunion won't rub as much, still have the elastic strap on them. I like the idea of a camp shoe, especially in the South in the wet winter. But if I had to let go of something, it probably would be these. So stay tuned. I have 3 days of food in my rock bag here. This has been one of the items that I have been doing so much soul searching about since my last gear video. Andrew Skurka, who is the backpacking guru, has come out with an article about how ineffective we are at hanging bear bags and how ineffective bear bags are in general against bears. So I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I ordered 2 different bear cans. I've returned them both. And what I have decided to do is in my bag is to add an OPSAC bag that is odor proof so that all of my food, which is in here, is sealed, and then I have each day in a separate Ziploc bag. So I'm really trying to reduce the exposure to having bears be tempted to come to my gear. And I am gonna hang this, but I am gonna be more thoughtful about it than I think I had been in the past. I think I have done more research and learned more about how to be kind of a better steward of being out in the environment and taking care of the bears so that they're not tempted to come into camp. As part of this, I have also added this really fun looking 1 ounce, literally it's 1 ounce, High Tail Designs fanny pack. And this will have my food for the day in it. I used to have it in my right hip pocket. And what I have decided, again, is that the crumbs of food that get left in there, I just don't want it as part of my pack. I don't want to worry about this. So this will be easy to reach my food while I'm on the trail. It was 1 ounce and really nice company, really small cottage industry, of through hiker. And they were fantastic about getting it out to me really quickly because this is a last minute switch, but I can use this for town as well. And I'm really happy that I'm adding this to my gear. All right. So I still have a zippered pouch in here that has all of my first aid and repair kits. None of that has changed. I have added a separate bag that hangs off of here that I just had in my gear, and that's where my wallet is going to be with my credit cards and my insurance card and my cash. And one of my sweet, sweet friends gave me her St. Mary medallion to bring with me for good luck on the trail. So that's going to be here in this second pouch. Again, they're just lashed onto the same hooks. So I will be bringing my section of the AWOL guide up to Virginia. That's how much I'm carrying with me. I have added a trail map from Anti-Gravity Gear for the Georgia area, and also a pen and a highlighter. So this will be with me. I know that I have my gut hook and my AWOL on my phone already. I have the AWOL as a PDF, but sometimes it's just really nice to have paper and to hold something. And this is the only paper I'm bringing with me. So there you go. I have my down jacket still. That hasn't changed. And I have my hanging system for my hammock. And what has changed is the clothes. So let's go over what's inside this bag. The clothes that are in my bag that I will not be wearing on the trail, though, but will be at camp for me at night. I still have my Smart Wool 150 leggings and my Smart Wool 150 long sleeve top. I have an extra pair of underwear and an extra pair of Darn Tough socks. I also still have the Sealskins waterproof socks, which I'm still really liking these. I went out on a backpacking, not a backpacking, just a day hiking trip with a friend, wore these with my Injinji wool sock liners, and with my regular trail runners, they did great. So I'm really happy with that suggestion. I have added these little arm warmers. I think this was an old pair of socks that I cut off, and I'm just going to put it on here. These are probably just going to be with me during the bridge season until I get to Virginia. One of the things I noticed about my possum down gloves is they're not long. They stop right at the end of the hand. And so this part of my arm tends to get cold. So I'm going to be bringing these with me. My jacket comes right up to the edge and it just protects that area of my wrist. I can also wear these instead of gloves just for a little bit of warmth if I don't need full gloves. So I am bringing those with me. Again, I think they're just a pair of cut down wool socks. And in my discussions with my physical therapist, she really recommended that I bring my compression socks with me. I wasn't going to. I was thinking it was overkill, and it might be I can send them home. But again, it's just one of those things that I can have with me that is going to bring me peace of mind. All right, I'm going to weigh this now so that you can see. Oh, Final weight with a liter of water, 4 days of food, and everything that I'm carrying with me on the Appalachian Trail is 24.5 pounds. The final changes to my gear that I have are my bottom layers, my layers for my legs. I'm not wearing the top right now that I'm actually wearing hiking, but I will have a Smart Wool bra, Smart Wool t-shirt, Smart Wool 250 layer long sleeve top. And I have decided to not wear my Marmot Screes. When I continued to wear them more, I didn't like the way that the belt area was rubbing underneath my pack. So I've gone to what my original instinct was, which is a pair of leggings and a hiking skirt. So this is the Purple Rain hiking skirt. Purple Rain is a really nice company. It's got 2 huge pockets, and they also have little Velcro pockets for some smaller things. And I am wearing the Smart Wool PhD. They are the wind tights. So they are water resistant and wind resistant, and then they have fleece on the inside. Let me show you the shoes that I have decided to head south. I have decided to go back to what I hiked the long trail with. And these are Topo Athletic, which is a brand I don't hear people talking about a whole lot. These are the Terra Venture 2s, which are new since, they're actually new in December of this year. They have Vibram soles, they have a 3mm drop, and they have a wide toe box. So they're not the zero drop of the Ultras, but the problem that I have with Ultras is that my heel slips in them. I need the wide toe box because I have bunions. So these are actually a men's version. And I have the lace locks on them, which I really like a lot, which are elasticized shoelaces that make it really easy for getting them on and off. Which is another reason why I'm thinking about not bringing camp shoes, is that these are so easy to slide on and off, but still give good structure, that I'm kind of wondering if it's redundant. I could lose 8 ounces or 6 ounces by doing that, so I might, we'll see. Having said that, I do have an appointment on my way south to meet with Ron at Outdoor 76 in Franklin for a shoe fitting, just to see if there's another brand that I haven't thought of that I might be overlooking. So, talking about the trip south, what's going to happen there? Eleanor and I are pulling out of here tomorrow, and we are driving to Virginia to be with one of my mother's best friends and spend the night there, which will be really, really nice. And again, another connection and another looking past as I look forward. From there, we're going to go to Chattanooga for a few days. Eleanor is going to spend some time doing some family business, and I have dear friends in Nashville that are going to come visit, and we are going to go up to the Lululand Trust, which is where my friend Eleanor and her husband Chris were married, and there's a beautiful waterfall that I've always wanted to see, so we're going to spend some time there. After Chattanooga, we are headed back north up to Gatlinburg, and we're going to explore the Smokies a little bit by car, and we're going to drive up 441. I have a little bit of anxiety about the Smokies. You know, everybody hypes them up. You go in and you can't get back out, and there's no resources, and the weather's terrible. Anyways, it's in my head that the Smokies are going to be kind of one of my Achilles areas. So she has suggested that we spend some time in that area researching it better. So we're going to go to the Smokies. From the Smokies, we are then going down to Franklin, where I will have my shoe fitting at Outdoor 76. And then we are headed to the Nantahala Outdoor Center. And in those 2 days in Franklin and Nantahala, we are going to be doing trail magic. So I don't know who is going to be up that far. I know that there are probably, chances are pretty good that there's going to be a large group that's starting to come through that area. Then on the 27th, we will be arriving at Amicalola in the afternoon and staying at the lodge, checking in, getting our numbers. And my cousin Sandy will be flying in from Colorado, and we will spend the night just kind of decompressing and having one more good sleep in a bed. And then on the morning of the 28th, we are hitting the trail. We have decided to not do the approach trail. We were originally going to do it, but there are two reasons we're not. One is this huge bubble of hikers that are starting on the 1st. We've decided that if we start on the 28th at Springer, we'll avoid some of that congestion, and we will help with leave no trace practices a little bit better by not having, adding ourselves to that mix. The other is that I read a really persuasive article. People feel passionately one way or the other about doing the approach trail, and I thought for the last year and a half that I would do the approach trail. I have dog hair all over me. But read a really persuasive article about long-term in the hikes, how many people overexerted at the very beginning when they are not, their bodies have not started their conditioning and they are not ready for the steepness and the stairs at Amicalola, the approach trail, and the amount of injuries that it leads to. So I have decided to play it a little bit safe. So for those two reasons, we are not doing the approach trail, and we will start on Springer Mountain on the 28th with a whole lot of other people. It seems like we've got a lot of people on the 27th and the 28th that are going to be starting. And then of course the big rush starts on March 1st. So I think that we will be videoing. We'll probably have a video of our week-long road trip to the trail. And I'm excited to share that with you. That will be determined as we get on the road. The other thing is what to expect when I am on the trail for videos. I don't really have a plan yet as to whether I will be sending every couple days or once a week. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a certain day of the week that I'm going to release videos. I think, like everything else, it's just going to be a little bit more organic, and it's going to be when it feels like it. So the best way to know that a new video out is to subscribe and hit the little button with the bell so that it lets you know that there's an update. And oh, one other thing I wanted to show you was my supply box for the Smokies. Hold on. Okay, so I have a box of things that will be coming to me at Fontana, and one is my Nalgene bottle so I can use it for hot water. So I will bounce, I'll take things out of here and then bounce a box or move a box ahead after the Smokies. I will be bringing my air mattress, which is a Nemo Tensor, I believe it is. And I have cut this down so that it's a wide, because I'm a side sleeper when I sleep in a tent, although I know I won't be in a tent, but when I sleep on the ground, I'm a side sleeper. So I wanted a wider sleeping pad, but it came really long, so I cut it down and then heat sealed it. You can find links on YouTube for doing that. It voids your warranty, so do it at your own risk. I've done it to 3 pads so far, and I've had great luck with it. And then I also have the Neo Air pump sack that will help me pump that up, and then my spikes. I have my friend Greg sharpened my Catula. Actually, yeah, these are my Catula spikes for me, just like you would sharpen ice skates. And he sharpened these for me, so they're good to go. They are just so heavy that I'm not thinking that I want to bring them for the entire beginning of the trail. But I do have a pair of lighter weight ones that my husband can send me, or he can send me these ahead. So those are 3 things that are definitely coming into the Smokies with me. I will take out my my underquilt and hammock and my tarp when I get these things. So the weight should pretty much balance out for each other. All right. Thanks so much, you guys, for your support. I'm really looking forward to getting this going. And I'm nervous. I'm scared. It's real, but I really feel good about it, and I really feel positive. So thanks for everything, and we'll see you on the trail.